Mexican Coke is just so much better. Real sugar, everything's in
It's just fucking, wait, why?
Spanish. This beautiful retro bottle.
It's just literally the difference between fucking cane sugar and high fructose corn syrup, but that has also changed in Mexico as well in recent years. I wonder if that's the entire video about. Ultimately, though, none of that matters to me because I hate real sugar Coke. I only drink fake sugar Coke, and I will tell you this much. I will tell you this. For me, Coca-Cola Light, which is Diet Coke in Turkey, tastes like doo-doo. The aspartame Coke that you get in Europe tastes like shit. Give me that good chemical compounds that you get in America, baby. Good old US of A, baby. Hell yeah. Best tasting Diet Coke in the planet, dude.
Hasan.
Nothing touches American Diet Coke. Nom, 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 nom. About to have me some now. Horrible Pepsi's better. That's a one-day ban. You deserve a one-day ban for that. That is, you need to get out of the chat for that take. You need to just fucking cool off, dude. You literally need to fucking cool off. That is a psychopathic take. The only thing Pepsi does well is Diet Mountain Dew. Holy don't get me started, dude. You are lucky that I didn't give you a perma for that one.
Better, right? Right?
Okay, mods, you can unban him. I feel bad, but
It's just better. Actually,
I got too hype. I in my Coke defense, and I pulled a Coca-Cola death squad on him.
the reality is no. Something's going on with Mexican Coke, and I need to tell you about it.
I got a PP. I'll be back.
By the way, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, which I will tell you about at the end of the video.
Ice cold Coca-Cola.
A quality product made with the best of materials.
So we're here in our little cabin, which is actually an 1800s church. See the picture of Jesus right there that we've turned into an Airbnb that you can rent out if you want, but I'm here to talk about Coke. So let me sit here on this old church pew and tell you what I've learned about this Mexican Coke over the past few days of sitting here in isolation. Is this really Mexican Coke? I mean, it says Hecho en Mexico on it, so it's got to be Mexican Coke, right?
Nothing else gives you the bracing sparkle and the bright little lift that's so delightfully yours in ice-cold Coca-Cola.
First off, let's talk about what Coca-Cola even is and why there's a difference between US Coke and Mexican Coke. I mean, Coca-Cola is like this giant international company that is known for having a secret recipe that they export to every corner of the globe. So why is there a difference between Coca-Colas? I mean, let's go straight to the source of all knowledge, Wikipedia, right? The drink's name refers to its original ingredients, coca leaves and cola nuts, a source of caffeine. Wait, what? Coca leaves? I know coca leaves, but only because I rode with a bunch of anti-narcotic police in a helicopter over coca fields in Colombia, busting people for cocaine production for an episode of Vox Borders. These are the people
Okay, I low-key kind of want to watch that.
who are growing coca leaves. Yes, indeed, the original Coca-Cola recipe included coca leaves, which is the derivative that is used to make cocaine. But don't worry, your bottle of Coke doesn't include any coca leaves.
Fucking narc, by the way. Of course he's a narc, dude. Are you kidding me? Clapping innocent coca farmer, clapping innocent coca leaf laborers in Colombia with fucking narcos, dude. Of course he's a narc. Fucking chat, cocaine equals good? Yes. Poor coca farmers, dude. Just doing their goddamn job. Some of this Vox stuff is hit or miss. The Border series is the main content.
Leaves today, or maybe it does, or no one really knows because no one actually knows the recipe. This is not a conspiracy video about cocaine being in your Coke. I'm interested in another ingredient that is inside of this bottle, and it's the sweetener.
It's made out of sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar cane.
It's made with better ingredients.
Originally, all Coca-Cola was sweetened with the same thing, straight up sugar, or what it's chemically known as sucrose.
But then, a few things happened in the United States that changed that. First, the US government got really aggressive.
Motherfucking corn, baby. Motherfucking corn, baby. The most important states, in accordance with our electoral college, had one primary agricultural product, baby. And that's known as corn. I'll get it tattooed on my chest if I have to. I'm shucking, boys. I'm a goddamn Husker.
About giving money to US farmers to keep them profitable.
So they started pouring a lot of money into corn, subsidizing corn farmers in the United States. You can see this very clearly in our country. There are entire states that are basically
Also one of the main factors that led to our obesity rate being so high. I know correlation does not mean causation, but sure seems like there's a causal relationship between high fructose corn syrup in our diets and how fat we got, among other reasons, of course, but definitely that played a role there.
one giant cornfield. So if you're a corn farmer in the 1980s, you have every incentive in the world to just produce loads of corn, as much as your soil can possibly eke out. Unsurprisingly, what this means is that you have a major surplus of corn. Loads of corn everywhere. Way too much corn just spilling out of every corner of the United States. At the same time, the US is putting up trade barriers.
Getting fucking horny thinking about all that corn, baby. Substitute corn and porn, baby. That's what I do. Been corn all day.
Basically tariffs for sugar coming in from other countries. So sugar became expensive, corn became incredibly cheap. And so businesses like Coca-Cola did what businesses do, and they rejiggered everything to find the cheapest possible option. And this is when they turned to a newly invented sweetener that came from corn and tasted sweet like sugar, but was chemically very different. Sugar is sucrose, that's its kind of chemical name. This new corn sweetener was glucose and fructose, but it was still very sweet, but it came from cheap corn. And they started to use that to sweeten their Coca-Cola in the United States. Enter high fructose corn syrup.
Did you know that corn, one of America's favorite foods, is used to make America's favorite syrup? A wholesome kind of sweetness that comes from corn.
Look what happened to high fructose corn syrup production in the United States versus sugar in the 80s and 90s. High fructose corn syrup became the obvious choice because it was way cheaper, and Coca-Cola started using it to sweeten their drinks.
So this is how you get two different Coca-Colas. The United States producing Coke that is made with high fructose corn syrup, and the rest of the world, including Mexico, without any of these trade restrictions and corn subsidies, continuing to use cane sugar to sweeten their Coca-Cola. And then the taste wars begin.
Ooh, it's actually a lot better.
It's the sugar. Got a natural
syrupy.
Soon, Mexican Coke became a delicacy in the United States. It was only sent to places that had big Mexican populations or other immigrant populations that were used to this cane sugar Coke. And so it became rare and hard to find and obscure. Not surprisingly, hipsters like me got really into it. It was authentic.
I love that at least he's self-aware, you know what I mean? Like, if he also wasn't self-aware about how much of a fucking ginormous hipster he is, like how much of a fucking meme he is, it would be so much worse. He's literally peak 2013 hipster. Like, he's still living in that area. His brain space is still like very much 2013 hipster, dude. From his fits to his looks, just everything.
And it was the original recipe, and it was hard to find, and it was in this retro glass bottle. It felt like some commodity was being...
What's your favorite way to eat corn? Shoving it directly into my asshole.
Like sent from the other side of the border in this kind of renegade way, and we were getting in on it. And it tastes so much better with that cane sugar.
Man, that stuff is so good.
It won't feel like corn syrup all over in my guts. Just have a much smoother, more delicious taste.
So much better. So much better. But wait, this is where it starts to get really weird. In 2010, a group of legit scientists get together to do a legitimate experiment for a legitimate science journal, and they want to test soft drinks, including Coca-Cola. They want to know what sorts of sweetener are being used for each and how much of that.
Anytime there is a group of legitimate scientists doing legitimate science as it pertains to these sorts of commodities, I am immediately skeptical. Immediately. There are endless amounts of data that you can find that goes one way or another that have been paid for by those very same fucking companies to do that legitimate science. I'm just going to put that out there. It's like most of them. So I don't know how this one works. We'll see, but
Sweetener is in each of them. So they gather a bunch of soft drinks, including a Mexican Coca-Cola and an American Coca-Cola, and they do all of their testing. And what they find is that the Mexican Coca-Cola actually has no sucrose in it, meaning sugar. All they find in this is glucose and fructose, the elements that are used to build high fructose corn syrup. What?
So Mexican Coke also has high fructose corn syrup, but because of Mexican guidelines, they can just lie and say it's sugar? Nice.
Mexican Coke that came from a Latino market in East LA, they found no sugar. They only found the elements for high fructose corn syrup. What is happening? This is supposed to be sugar. It says on the ingredients, sugar, but it tastes so much better. It's different. It tastes so much.
The difference probably comes from the glass bottle that you get it in. Most significant difference is outside of the placebo effect, it has to be the glass bottle. Because the glass bottle is different that like you don't really find glass bottle Coke in America all that much. Most of it is now plastic or cans. So it probably comes from that.
Better, right? Better.
Also, I don't really understand how that is 100% proof that this is actually high fructose corn syrup.
You right back to mommy.
Like not having any sucrose in it, and it's only just fructose and glucose. That doesn't necessarily prove that it's high fructose corn syrup.
Right? It gets weirder. In 2013, Mexican lawmakers became very concerned with the obesity rate in Mexico, which is considered by public health officials as, quote, the fattest country in the world. Not my words.
By the way, they took over that mantle after the United States. The United States used to hold it.
It's theirs. Mexico has a big obesity problem, and one of the links to that is the massive amount of sugar that is consumed. Mexican legislators slapped on a tax for soda. All soda was going to be subject to a tax, which made it more expensive to produce, which sent Coca-Cola looking for cheaper options to bottle their Coke. And cheaper options equal high fructose corn syrup. As of 2013, okay, we're talking like 7 years ago, more and more bottlers of Coca-Cola in Mexico, serving Mexican markets, are using high fructose corn syrup to sweeten their Coca-Cola and selling it in Mexico. So now even legitimate Mexican Coke is not even Mexican Coke anymore. It's identical to the high fructose corn syrup stuff you buy here. One of the main bottlers came out and said, don't worry, we're going to continue to send cane sugar Coke to the United States because we know that people really like it in the United States, and we'll continue to send it because it's good business for us to keep making it with cane sugar. But I don't even believe that guy because of that study. Remember the study that said no sucrose, only glucose and fructose, i.e. high fructose corn syrup? I don't believe you, Mexican bottler. I don't believe that you're sending us cane sugar Coca-Cola anymore. Not surprisingly,
they're not sending us their best. Mexico is sending their high fructose corn syrup Coca-Colas.
Coca-Cola has caught on to this idea that people like me love Mexican Coke, and they've totally leaned into it. They've created this gimmicky branding that's like...
This guy 100% at every party now corrects all the other hipsters and tells them, Actually, Mexican Coca-Cola has high fructose corn syrup in it. You're just deluded and you think that it has cane sugar.
It's like hecho en Mexico.
Here it is. Here is the offending product. Bought it at Target.
His name
It's
is
just sitting there
Hasan.
being so tokenizing of Mexican aesthetic and culture.
Oh, dude, I love him. How can you not love him, dude? This is so tokenizing of Mexican aesthetic. And like right after saying Eche un Mexico, I love him.
Okay, back to it.
Authentic, original flavors. And they've really leaned into it because they know that there's a cult following of people like me who will pay more money. Okay, so
Fucking dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's like so aware at times and so unaware at the same time. I love him. I don't hate this man, and I don't think you should either. I love how much he's just like a permanent liberal. He can't stop himself.
So I've been social distancing out here in this cabin in the woods for like 2 weeks. I've been reading way too much about the Coca-Cola bottling industry, and it has completely shattered my identity as a Mexican Coke drinker.
I'm sorry.
One, because there's probably not even sugar in this, and two, because Mexicans don't even drink Mexican Coke anymore.
It's completely shattered my identity as a Mexican Coke drinker is an incredible sequence of words put together.
They drink high fructose corn syrup. Cool. I guess there is still one reason why I would drink Mexican Coke, because it still comes in this cool retro glass bottle that makes me feel really cool about myself. And that is why I will continue to drink it. Thank you.
Cheers to y'all.
And now let me sit by my wood-burning stove.
Oh my God. Oh, I love him. I love him, dude. I love him so much. He's like the last remaining relic of a now forgotten era. With the way that trends come and go on the internet, this man has stood by and said, I will remain in 2013 internet hipsterdom. I will be the first gentrifier of Brooklyn. Okay? That's what I will do.
His name
I
is
love
Hasan.
him, dude. I love him. I want to invite him into my home.
And tell you about Squarespace. That is
Fucking love this guy, dude. I'm going to give that I'm inviting this into my home and giving it a upvote.
Are you coming with me? Feed my fantasy. Are you coming with me? Feed my fantasy.